This is so blessed. Welcome to the blessed place. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for being here and thank you for being a blessed one. We are long overdue for some conversation about relationships and some good old relationship advice, right? We're long overdue. So let's get into this. I just spent a couple hours with my sister and we were just talking about relationship, love, all kinds of stuff. That's where I started to think about this video idea, because I was just sharing with her how my heart just breaks, how my heart aches for women who allow men to just treat them any kind of way. First of all, let me do a disclaimer. Of course, this video, I'm talking primarily to my women, but men, I invite you to listen. I invite you to comment. I invite you to agree or disagree or share an otherwise male perspective. But this is basically to my ladies. And I also want to say that there is never, ever any kind of male bashing over here in the blessed place. I just speak from my experience and things that I have seen. But ain't no male bashing, honey, because I love men's folk too much to bash them, okay? Let's just put that on out there. So that was the disclaimer. Next disclaimer is, if you're around your children or you're watching with your children, for those of us who don't understand that vernacular, if you're watching with your children and you don't want them to hear real talk about advice, then put the babies away, let the children go play, because we about to get real up in her. We're not talking about anything vulgar, so, you know, if you want them to stay and listen, that's fine. We're not talking about anything vulgar, we're just talking about life, but we about to get real, and I mean real up in here, okay? All the disclaimers have been put out there. You guys, I was just thinking about how my heart just bleeds, my heart aches, my heart breaks when women allow themselves to be treated and mistreated so wrongly, so unjustly, so unlovingly by their men in their lives, whether it's their boyfriend, whether it's their husbands, especially boyfriends, because, you know, a husband is a whole different level. You know, there's a whole different covenant and commitment when it comes to that. So I'm mostly talking about these boyfriend situations that we are allowing men to degrade us, to belittle us, to cheat on us, to misbehave, to not adore us and not be loving towards us. It's sad. It's sad. And because we subscribe, I think one of the biggest myths and misconceptions that we subscribe to is that if I don't let him act the way he acts, then I could lose him, or I may lose him, or who else is going to love me? If there is not a myth or misconception that could not be further from the truth, I don't know what is. Because when you as a woman command respect, not demand, because you can't demand respect. Respect is something that is commanded. And what's the difference? You command respect by, first of all, being respectful and respecting yourself. And when you are respectful towards a man and you respect yourself, just your mere essence commands respect. So you never have to demand. I've never once demanded my husband respected me. Just my mere essence and how I respect him and how I respect myself, and the past relationships that he's aware of that I've had, that I don't play any disrespect or inappropriate behavior or degrading me. Just my mere essence, my mere aura commands respect. And that's what I want for women. I want them to know that you do not have to subscribe to this thought that if I don't let him treat me this way, then he's not going to love me, or he may leave me. Why do we want men in our lives who do not respect us, who do not love us, who do not adore us, who do not care enough about us to commit to us? Why do we want those men? I don't understand, and I have been trying to understand. For years, I have been telling myself, Deidre, don't be judgmental, which I always check myself and ask, are you being judgmental? And I try my best not to be. But I still question. I cannot get away from the question. Why do we as women allow ourselves to be in relationships where men are cheating on us, where men are beating us, where men are booty calling us? Yeah, he can't call us but late at night. He does not take us out, but he wants to come by. How many of us got these come by men, these drive by men? I remember my sister Danica say, I'm so sick of these drive. Okay, I ain't gonna tell y'all what she actually said, fill in the blank yourself. But she said, I'm so sick of these drive-by blanks. These men who want to come by. Can I come by? Can we, they want to just sit on your couch and eat your food and watch your TV and not show you off to the world, not share you with his family, not show you off to his friends, not take you to a sports bar, a sporting event, a concert, to church. Why are we accepting barely good enough? And most of the time it's not even good enough. A man will rise to the level of your expectation. Oh, if I could get women to understand just that. Of everything I may say in this video, if I can get women to totally receive and understand and stand on that a man will rise to your level of expectation. And if there is a scale of 1 to 10 of expectation and your level of expectation is a 1, meaning being the lowest expectation for a man, because maybe generationally you've heard that men are no good, men are dogs. Maybe you've seen men dog out your grandma, dog out your mom, dog out your sister, dog out your friends. And your level of expectation for men is that all men are dogs and that's just the way they are and that's just the way they're going to be. And if I want one, I'm just going to have to accept that. If maybe you've heard that and that's what you believe, therefore your level of expectation for a man is at a 1. Being just the lowest that there is, because you never knew that if you raise your level of expectation for a man to a 7, that a man will not only strive to reach that 7, he will strive to exceed that 7. He wants to be an 8, 9, or 10 for you if he cares for you. That is the operative word. If he cares enough for you, then he will strive to not only meet your level of expectation, but exceed your level of expectation. He wakes up trying to figure out what he can do to make you happy, what he can do to show you his generosity, what he can do to show you his thoughtfulness and his kindness, what he can do for you that will make your day better, your life better, that will bring a smile to your face and warmth to your heart. A man who truly cares for you, that is what he wakes up thinking about. We don't believe that. We do not. I know some of y'all listening saying, well, Deidre, I don't know where you found these men at. They are there in your life. The man you're with who is not treating you right, it's in him. But he has no incentive, zero incentive to bring that forth for you, because your level of expectation for him is at a 1. So he's at a 0 or 1. That's all you expect from me is a 1? Baby, I got a 1 for you. I got a 1 for you. That's all you expecting from me? That's what I got for you. Because we're not raising our level of expectation from a man. Some of us don't even know, dude, what do you mean by raising a level of expectation? What I mean is, I got plenty of videos on it. But what I mean is, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. You keep your word. When you say you're going to come pick me up and take me somewhere and we're going on a date, you do it. When you say you love me, you act upon that. Love is action. Love is action. We tend to listen to what a man says and not what he does. And we just simply go by, he said he loved me. He says I'm the one. He says I'm the one I want. Yet he is over here messing around with Susie and Quashawn. But he says I'm the one that he really wants. Well, yeah, that very well may be true. You're the one that he really wants, and he wants to keep these on the side because your level of expectation has not gone to the level of letting him know, no, I don't want to be number one. I will be the only one. Or I will be moving on. No, you don't have to move on. I will be moving on. I will save you the trouble, brother. I will be moving on because I will not be number one. I will be number one and the only one. But we don't have that level of expectation. Yeah, no woman wants to be cheated on, so no woman actually just says, cheat on me. No woman actually just says, you know, do whatever you want to do. But that's what we do in our actions. That's what we show men in our lives. Again, that age-old adage of actions speak louder than words. Women, just like men's actions speak louder than their words. If a man really loves you, it shows. And when he doesn't love you the way he says, that also shows. In that same light, with us, our actions speak louder than our words. We can say with our words, you cheat on me, I'm gonna be gone. Or we can say with our words that I'm not sharing my man. Or we can say with our words that I have good, healthy self-esteem. But what are your actions showing? In your actions, you're showing that man that if you cheat, I will forgive you. And if you cheat again, I will forgive you again. And if you cheat, I will forgive you again. And when I get tired of forgiving you, then I'll just share you, but I'll pretend to know that I'm sharing you. I'll pretend not to know that I'm actually sharing you. That way, it doesn't look bad and it doesn't look like I have very low self-esteem when in actuality I am sharing you. And I am fully aware that I'm sharing you, but I'm not going to admit that I know that I'm sharing you because then that would look bad. But your actions is showing that your self-esteem is so low. Your level of expectation for a man is so low that you think that you don't have a choice and there's nothing that you can do about this man cheating on you or this man degrading you or not treating you right. We have a choice, ladies. Okay, the choice may be being alone. The choice may be being lonely. And I know that is a bitter pill to swallow. Anybody who's been in a blessed place long enough, you kind of know my background, but I was without a man for 13 years. I dated a little here and there, but I was sick of the games. And when the brothers found out that I wasn't giving it up, they didn't stay long. But I know about being alone, and I know about loneliness, and woo, that ain't no easy thing. But we have to decide that I'd rather be alone than to be with a man who does not treasure, honor, respect, adore me. Yeah, I was just thinking about anybody who's been a long time Oprah viewer. I was watching one of her shows one time and she had a panel of men on there. And I don't remember exactly who was on there other than I definitely remember Jay Leno was on there because he said something so poignant. And it was about 5 men, black, white, and they were all actors, famous people. And the question was, it was like a relationship show. And the question was, why men cheat? And I can remember so clearly. Dang, I forget who it was. I don't know if it wasn't Morris Chestnut. I'm sorry, I just can't remember who it was. but I definitely remember it was a black guy, it was a black actor. And he said, not that I condone it, he said, but men cheat, simply put, because they can. Because they can. Because they can. 3 words. Why men cheat? 3 words. Just like those 3 words, I love you, that we cherish hearing. Men cheat because they can. But I remember Jay Leno saying that he agreed with what the other person said because they can. But he also said something that was just profound to me. He said, I have never cheated. At that time, he had been married to his wife maybe 30 or 25 years or so. And he said, I have never cheated on my wife because I know that if I do, she will leave me. He said, simply put, that's why I have not, and I don't cheat on my wife, because I know that I married up. I know that I am a lucky guy to have her. And if I ever cheated on her, she would leave me. If every man thought those 2 things, that I'm in a relationship with a woman who I know I don't deserve, and if I cheat, I will lose her. If every man thought that way, but a man is not going to think that way unless we think that way about ourselves. How can a man treasure you and adore you and say, I don't even want to take a chance at losing her, when we don't think that way about ourselves? When we don't esteem ourselves in that regard? If we don't think that way about ourselves, certainly a man is not going to think that way. A man vibes off of your verbal cues, your non-verbal cues, your actions, past experiences. So if a man knows that when I did that, she accepted that, and when I did that, she accepted that, and when I did that, she accepted that, he's going to try to see how much further he can go. I'm not saying all men. Brothers, calm down. Because there are some of you, regardless of how the woman acts, regardless of her level of expectation, you are going to be upstanding to the utmost. But most men rise to the level of expectation that their woman has for them. I can remember, y'all, I'm about to give you some true confession here. Something I've never talked about on video and not too much in real life. But because I care, because I love y'all, because my heart bleeds for women, I want my blessed ones to hear this and know this. I'm going to give you 2 examples of something that happened to me. My husband and I, most of you know, friends for 26 years. The first situation happened, most of you know, those who don't, my husband was incarcerated for 15 years, federal prison, for running a drug operation. He was incarcerated. Okay, now, when I first met him, he was not incarcerated. I met him back in 80-something, 86. He was not incarcerated. He maybe got incarcerated maybe 6 years after I met him, something like that. Okay, so now we fast forward. He's telling me for years, we were friends. He's telling me for years that he loves me, he wants to marry me. When he gets out, he wants to marry me. I couldn't see it because I wasn't waiting on the brother 10, 15 years, not me. So I was not, waiting on him. So, but then, just through letters and phone calls and visits, we got even closer friendship. I found out after about him being incarcerated about maybe 8 years, and him telling me he loves me, and when he gets out, he want to marry me, and I found out that the brother is married. Did not know that he had married his baby's mama. When I found out, his sister accidentally let the cat out of the bag because she thought I knew. So she thought I knew. When I found out, I wouldn't take his phone calls. I wouldn't return his letters. I cut off relationship with him. His sister even called me, because since I wouldn't answer his calls, wouldn't answer his letters, he reached out to his sister to try to reach out to me. He wants to know what's going on, what happened, Why am I not corresponding with him? Why am I not talking to him on the phone? She reaches out to me, and I tell her that I did not know Charles was married, even though, I mean, he was estranged from his wife because, okay, now he's been incarcerated, so he's estranged from her, but he hasn't done any divorce paperwork. I tell her that I did not know he was married, and he needs to handle his business. Whether he stays in the relationship or gets out of the relationship, tell him, don't do it for me. Don't divorce anybody for me, because there's no guarantee that I'll be here when he comes home. Long story short, he handled his business. We started back talking, started back the friendship. I say that because had I continued the relationship and made him thought that it was okay for you to be married and maintain a relationship with me, that's exactly what he probably would have continued to do. I don't know for sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but I guarantee you it would have been a different outcome, and we may not be married now had I led him to believe that that is okay. Okay. Another situation. He's out. We get it. We continue our friendship. We get engaged. We get married. 1 month after we've been married, we don't live together. When we first get married, we don't live together. We're living 3 hours away. We're commuting on the weekend. 1 month after being married, we're not communicating for a weekend. I call it missing in action. He's missing in action. We don't talk for about a 24-hour period or a little longer. Now, that might not sound like long to you, but you know, you're married. You're talking every few hours or so. Okay, I'm going here. I'm getting ready to go work. I'm doing this. I'm on my lunch break, you know. And now here it is, 24 hours or longer. There's no communication. I don't know where you are, what you're doing. We're 3 hours away. Finally, the next day, mind you, when I reach him, he comes up with some, I call it cockamamie story. Okay, this is what I want to share with you all. Okay, you guys, I don't use profanity. Even when I was out in the world, cursing was just not my thing. A lot of things was my thing, but cursing was not my thing. But I got to put it to you all almost how I said. I can't say it exactly, but I got to give you a feel of how I responded to him. We talked on the phone, and I'm like, where have you been? What's been going on? Da 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 da. He gives me his cockamamie story, which was a lie. And I said, okay, brace yourself. First lady finna tell you what I said. I said, oh wait, I gotta get my props. Let me get my prop. I said, I don't know who you think you lying to, but you done effed up and married the wrong one, because I am not the one. I have no shame in waiting till I was 38 to be married for the first time in my life, and after 1 month get an annulment or divorce. I have no shame, because I will not. Yes, I had my black lady face and neck going on. I will not, out of shame, be married for a lifetime to a man that I cannot trust. Hung up. When I tell you it's a 3-hour drive from where we were, and I tell you in 4 hours he was here at the house, we talked it out, we cried, we prayed, I forgave. That ain't never happened again. A couple of months later, he moved here. That ain't never happened again. No situation or problem like that. But had I accepted that, had my level of expectation been, that's men, it happens, that might have continued on. You just missing in action. No. No, what, homie, don't play. No, I don't play that. No, and I will not be shamed into a relationship or a marriage because I'm now embarrassed to let go of someone who is not aspiring or striving to exceed my expectation of him. I won't be shamed into staying with somebody like that. So I shared that. That is very, very intimate and personal to me to share that with you guys. But there is no testimony without a test. So that was a test 1 month into our relationship, and now I got a testimony to share with you guys to let you all know that you do not have to be in a relationship and allow a man to treat you in a kind of way. Try it. Try me by my word. Okay, I ain't God. I ain't trying to say my word is like God's word, but try me. Raise your level of expectation in your relationship and watch a man try to exceed it. Watch your husband, your boyfriend, your partner try to exceed that level of expectation that you. And if they don't, it's because they're just not that into you. They don't love you the way you desire to be loved. And that's okay too, because that lets you know it's time to let go, let God, and to move on. Lastly, I want to leave you with this thought, very similar to what I'm talking about. There was a young lady that was over, and I know her and her man's relationship very rocky. Not married, but lived together, very rocky. And they often come and talk to us about it. So I asked her, he was out talking to hubby in the garage. She and I were inside, and I asked her, how are things going with you all? And she said, he just treat me so bad. He treat me so bad. He just disrespect me. He drink. He stay out all times. Sometimes he gone from Friday to Monday. And I'm just trying to hold my peace, y'all, because I try not to tell people, why are you accepting that mess? You know, I try to pepper my truth with some grace. I really try. I try to, balance that thing, grace and truth, because I got a lot of truth. I have to ask God to help me with that grace. So I'm trying not to say anything. But then she says, I said, well, what are you going to do? You're just going to allow him to keep on treating you like that? And she said, that's all right, First Lady, because he go get his, because karma. He go get his because God don't like ugly. So karma, it's going to come back on him. I said, baby, sometimes you can't wait on karma. You got to be the bee. Ooh. Y'all go ahead on, throw the holy water on me. Throw the holy water on me. All right, y'all. I just had to leave y'all with that. Raise your level of expectation. A man will exceed it. Give him that benefit of doubt to know that if he loves you, if he cares for you, he will exceed it. And if he don't, you don't want him. You deserve better. You deserve to be loved like God loves us. He loves us. Love y'all. Y'all be blessed.